everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis, and I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner trying to get back in the saddle.
And I am just a guy that pretty much does nothing these days. No exercise.
He travels still. Welcome home, by the way.
Thank you.
Out to Colorado.
Out to Colorado for a week.
Man, I mean, if you want to go anywhere and run, man, that'd be a great place.
I did a 3/4 mile hike.
Nice.
It was a big deal.
Up the incline or no?
No. No.
Nah, I can't do that yet.
Not yet.
That's a big workout. Yeah, Mitch is back from Colorado for a week, 10 days, something like that.
We did get delayed on the way back too. So as we were leaving, just as we got to Colorado Springs Airport, got the text that it was going to be delayed.
Oh, yay.
So went in there and figured, like usually found out it's weather related. They weren't letting any planes land in Denver, and thinking, usually if that's the case, the other plane will be delayed as well. So we'll be fine. We'll roll the dice. We'll go. And we end up, finally, it got delayed multiple times. As we were taxiing in to park at the gate, got the text. You missed your flight. Oh, my God. So we spent the night in Denver. So I took another day off from work that I didn't expect to take off.
Yeah, they got hammered out there with a bunch of snow, right?
They did.
Up in the mountains?
Yeah, so... But not in Denver. It was lightning, so they weren't letting planes land. But we stayed in Colorado Springs. You could see Pikes Peak. You could see the weather at the top of the mountain. It is wild to look up there and see the weather up there, and it's sunny where you're at. You know, like you could see lightning up there. And then we could see snow. And we were talking about driving up there, and Jack sent us the webcam, and he's like, yeah, there's snow up there. Like it's not even somewhere we want to drive.
Yeah.
And then since then, you sent me the picture of the incline, and I had the same picture saved, and I sent it right back to you.
Yeah, that's funny. They got hammered with like 3 feet or something crazy. It was just like 30 some inches of snow. Just boom, here you go.
Yeah.
Because when you were out there, you like some of who you're out there with did the incline, right?
Yeah. So Laura tries to do it about once a week, and then I told Tammy she wasn't getting off easy, that she was going to have to do it. She was super nervous about it because it's probably been, I don't know, about 7 years since she has done it.
And it's
hard.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit deep into it because we're actually going to talk about this on another podcast. But welcome home at any rate.
Yeah,
we're gonna dive into the Manitou incline a little bit more. This episode. Oh, first of all, let me just talk. Man, this was supposed to be part of my intro, and I realized halfway through my intro that
you messed it up.
Well, the whole self-admitted lazy ultra runner, I am that. I am definitely always have been a lazy ultra runner, but I have not been running much. And I'm a little convicted with the whole, I'm thinking of something else we have to cover. So number one, first of all, I was thinking about that. I had planned a different intro. I did not have my finest afternoon this morning at my front door. Man, we had a salesman. No, we had a salesman come in.
Then you should answer the door in your underwear.
Yeah, right. I answered the door. Nicole said, do not answer the door today because there's a salesman going through the neighborhood and they're selling pest control. And I guess he's super aggressive. And I had to say, dude, you're not listening to me. You are not listening to your customer. Why would I buy from you? I've told you 3 times this and this and this. And he just ignored it, went on to the next thing. He still ignored? He just kept on going. I'm like, you are not hearing me, man. He goes, no, I hear him. No, you're not. And I was starting to get agitated. And finally, I just said, dude, we're done here. I got to be done here. And I hate those. I just don't ever feel good coming away from those moments like that where I let emotion get the best of me and essentially just told the guy, we're done. I'm not talking to you anymore. And I don't like doing that to any human being, period.
Right. But that's that type of person relies on
that. Man, this was so bad that I actually called their company. I said, hey, you have a salesman coming through our neighborhood right now. He's doing you a disservice because everybody is upset with him. He's way too aggressive. Like, I get sales and that, but man, it is just, I was not happy how I left that. At any rate, the other thing I need to cover, boom, right out of the gate. The Mummy is not run this year.
We were going back and forth on that. So it is every other year. I don't know when he decided to do that.
It's not run on the odd years. It's only run on the even years. And somebody emailed us, and thank you so much. I don't have his email. Clay, what the heck is it? Anyway, he emailed and said, hey, I don't want you to get too, Clay Ramsey.
Look at that. Look at your memory now.
Hey, I remembered something. Awesome. He said, don't want you to get your hopes up too much. It's not being run this year. There's always T-Rex, though, and I do.
T-Rex is
that might be fun. Yeah. So, we've said it several times. Do the Mummy. Well, hey, you can do it, but wait till next year because you'll be by yourself there this year. So I wanted to get that out of the way. But this episode, we have something super exciting because it is currently going on. It will be done when this airs because it finishes Saturday. This airs on Sunday. I don't know what time
it finishes, but it's a 125-hour race. I think they get 125 hours to finish. Yeah, and it started on Monday.
It is the Cocodona 250. And we've actually talked about this before on the podcast. I don't know, year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Yeah, I mean, man, it's one of those things. I'm actually reading a book right now called Life is a Marathon by Matt Fitzgerald. I remembered two things, the title and the author. That's pretty good.
You're on a roll.
On a roll. And he's actually in a section right now where he's talking about like his age. He's speaking of, his history. He's at least 10 years older than I am. And he's trying to land that perfect marathon still. And I don't know, he's probably in his late 40s maybe in this section of the book. And he's like, I got like one more chance to nail the perfect marathon. And I'm going, dang, yeah, I'm probably past nailing my prime ever, I'm
Do you think you could still run a 3-hour marathon?
Man, I never really trained hard.
But now you got to train harder.
Well, yeah, I'd have to train way harder. I'd have to be way more disciplined. I'd have to diet differently. Like, I've never done any of that stuff for a marathon. So I don't know. There's a chance I could get close to it again. But I doubt I could. I don't know. I'm well past my prime.
I think we should find out.
Yeah.
I got a camera you can carry in that race.
Yeah. Yeah. But at any rate, it did make me pause and go, dang it. I guess I'm past it. Now I just got to work on what I got. But anyway, we're going to talk about Cocodona 250. We did mention it. We've talked about this before, but it is becoming an iconic race in ultra running. It's a big deal. Yeah, it already is a big deal. Yeah. But it's only 5 years old. Started in 21, so that'd be 21, 5 years.
You got to count the first running of it.
This is the fifth running.
Yeah.
And it
sells out fast now.
Yeah.
Can you believe there's that many people that want to run 250 miles? And the waiting list is just as big as the amount of people in the entry that entered it.
Yeah.
Or are actually running it.
Yeah. It is a huge race. It is a trek basically from Phoenix. Well, say Phoenix, north of Phoenix. What is it?
It's Black Canyon. It starts in Black Canyon.
Yeah.
Right?
And it runs up to Flagstaff. They finish at Flagstaff.
Okay.
You look like you're doubting me.
No, I know I could be wrong. Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm 100% it finishes at Flagstaff.
Okay. Because you pulled it up. I was like thinking in my head, I was trying to remember it. And
yeah. No, it's definitely Flagstaff. And
I know it goes through Sedona.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's actually currently, as we speak, we did this math. We added this up. Roughly speaking, there are still 125-ish, give or take 10 runners trying to complete this by tomorrow at
Whatever
some time.
it is.
Yeah.
We could have probably looked that up before too, but I don't know that that's that important. It'll be all right.
Yeah, probably not. But
It's
we wanted
a long freaking ways.
Yes.
And you have a lot of time to do it.
Yeah. And in the time that we are literally recording this podcast, there's a guy, Bryce Birchie, who is at mile 254.8. And we're going to see if he finishes by the time we are.
So it's more than 250 then.
Yes, 257.
So they call it a 250,
Yeah.
but you get 7 bonus miles.
Yeah, it's
And if you
257 point something.
And if you take wrong turns, you get more.
Oh, yeah, you add even more. Lucky you. Bonus miles.
The guy that was leading, I was watching the special over the weekend. The guy that was leading the race last year took a wrong turn.
Yeah, Jeff Browning, right?
I think. Well, he went by String Bean. They call him String Bean.
Oh, that's a different. Yeah, so that was earlier on in the race. Browning was leading it up until the last
end.
3 miles or
Within
something.
a couple miles of that, Harry came back and passed.
They were already off Eldon. They were already on the flat.
Yeah,
and he got passed.
And he couldn't even. He couldn't breathe.
And Browning's like 50?
He's in his 50s.
Is he 50 now? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Bryce.
That was last year's race.
That was last year's.
Yeah.
But Bryce Birchie is within. Basically, he's not going to finish by the time we get done.
But watching that documentary from last year really gets you excited about this year's.
Yeah.
And what's possible this year based on what they did last year. Because they say, we've talked about this before, the 200 is the new 100.
Yeah. And the 257 is
stupid.
Yeah, dumb. Those extra 57 miles. 57 more miles. That's crazy.
57 more miles of fun.
But this year, boy, they did throw down. It was a fast year, obviously, but it's also just becoming more and more competitive. You're getting more and more big runners, more and more elites jumping into the fold with this distance of a race. And it did not disappoint. This year, the men, Dan Green won in a course record time of 58 hours, 47 seconds. You said that was
47 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. 47 minutes.
58, 47, 18. I don't know if the 18 seconds matters anymore at that point.
But what did you say that pace was?
13.86. So it's like a 14-minute mile. That's with eating, sleeping.
250 miles.
I was watching the live stream.
257.
These guys were hauling.
Yeah.
So Dan Green was not leading the race early on. The guy that won last year, Harry, was leading for a long time. And they said he was running like he was running a 5K.
That's nuts.
Maybe that's why he didn't win. I don't know.
Well, he still took fourth.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, he won last year. So.
Well, fourth man. So he was fifth overall.
Yeah, because Rachel Entrican, who won the female, the women's race, took first with a course record also at 63 hours, 50 minutes.
And that's a 15-minute mile. That's hauling.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's a 24-hour. So that's is that a 24-hour 100?
It would be.
Roughly?
I don't know. Because you got to add, I don't know. I'm not good with math.
Google is pretty good with math.
It can do it on the fly.
Pace per mile.
I'm not good at typing either.
For 24-hour 100. Let's see what it says. Oh, yeah. So 25 hours would be 15, I think.
Oh, okay. So.
Right? Doesn't matter. It's fast. Google didn't help me out this time.
It's interesting, though. We don't have this in any of our notes, but Laura was talking about some of the strategies of how they sleep. Like if they only want to take a 20-minute nap, there's strategies where you would take caffeine before you fall asleep. So when the caffeine hits, it would wake you up.
Yeah,
so they do crazy. So they'll take like 20-minute naps.
Yeah. Yeah. The one I watched the documentary from last year, came out like a month ago at the most. A lot of those were like, I want to sleep for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you stop and just like, all right, 10 minutes? Man, I get they're tired. Like the one guy, he said he could never fall asleep. He would go and he would lay down and he could not get himself to go to sleep. And then he would be running on the trail and could take trail naps or try to. And he said
he'd lay on the side of the trail.
Lay on the side of the trail.
Isn't there like scorpions and stuff out there?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff out there. Yeah.
That sucks.
But yeah, there are the Cocodona 250. It is it's a major race, and then they also added the 125. Well, I'm not sure what year they added it, but they did have it this year.
The baby race.
Yeah, and I think they have a shorter one than that too.
I think so.
125, maybe. Yeah. Anyway. So these are your finishers. So these are your getting to what we wanted to get to. So the men, top 5 men, Dan Green, 58 hours, 47 minutes. Ryan Sands is one Western, 61 hours, 21 minutes. Edder? How would you say that?
Ramirez?
Eder,
I can say Ramirez. I would not be able to pronounce it first.
63 hours, 10 minutes. Harry Subertas, USA/Lithuania, 65 hours, 28 minutes. Finn Melanson, that shouldn't be that hard. Melanson, yeah, USA, 66 hours, 29 minutes. That's your top 5 men. Top 5 women, we mentioned Rachel Entrikin. Course record also of 63 hours, 50 minutes. They did say the final stretch up Mount Eldon this year, which is the last climb before you come into Flagstaff, was different. And it's interesting. I was looking at some of the times going up Eldon, and I mean, it's a fairly decent climb. And let's say they were going like, I don't know, whatever, 2 miles an hour. Pretty slow, 1 to 2 miles an hour. But they said coming down, because of permits, they had to kind of reroute things. And so that's why they were going up an easier way. But coming down was way more treacherous, and they were averaging like 0.3, 0.5 miles an hour coming down.
Oh, they were taking it easy.
No, they couldn't go much faster because it's so treacherous coming down. Yeah.
Right. And you got 200 and some miles on your legs.
Yeah, I think it was more they did say you had to be really careful coming down the backside of Eldon, coming into Flagstaff. So anyway, Lindsay Dwyer took second for the women. She was a mere 16 hours behind.
I was going to point that out. You look at those times, like between first and second, it was not a race to the finish.
16 hours behind. My gosh, Walmsley runs the 100-miler at Western faster than that.
Right.
Faster than the time that she was behind. That's nuts.
Well, third place was not far. Well, I mean, it's more than you think. Almost an hour behind.
Yeah, almost an hour. But man, that does seem like, right there.
Then fourth place, too, 85 hours.
5 hours behind, yeah.
So another 5.
Behind the third place. So Sarah Ostersuski.
Man, people should have easier names.
No kidding. If you're going to win, you're going to be in the top 5. You got to, here we go. Shelby Farrell.
That's easy.
Love it. 85 hours. And then Melissa Brown, 85 hours and 45 minutes. So that's your top 5 women in the race. We did mention that the top 2 are record-breaking finishes, times this year. Typical in this kind of a race, it does talk about weather, but man, when you're doing a 250 plus mile race, especially one that's point to point, probably around some mountains and things like that, you are going to hit just about every kind of weather.
Right. And they actually hit rain early on, and it was spotty. We were watching the live stream.
Oh, that's right. I watched the first day a little bit. Yeah.
And it would show, some people would come in and they'd be all wet. The next person come in and they'd be dry.
Yeah.
Like it was that spotty.
Yep. But yeah, you hit all kinds of weather. And like we did mention at the beginning of the podcast, like even where you were at in Colorado, one day, nothing. The next day it's, hey, here's 30 inches of snow.
Right.
So So yeah, they encounter all kinds of weather. A notable part of the race was Courtney Dauwalter was running this year, and Courtney's been killing it all over the women's race. Well, all over an ultra running period. And she threw her hat in the ring this year, and she was going to run it. And boy, she went out trying to tackle it like she does. She wasn't cocky about it. She was just going doing her thing.
No, I'm so disappointed. She is absolutely my hero. And she was actually leading the race at one point. She was first overall.
Yeah.
And I think she was still leading when she dropped. She dropped at 108 miles.
Oh, yeah. I knew she dropped around 100. But, you know, that's the thing.
It's run a total body shutdown.
You run, it is, remember talking to Kevin Goldberg about it when he was here. I think he has family in this area, and he was here running Riley Trails and bouncing it off him a little bit because he had ran it several times already. Well, I say several times, a couple of times already.
At least a dozen times.
Yeah, of the 5 years that they've ran it.
It feels that way.
Yeah. I think he may have ran it every year, or maybe like starting the second year, but I don't know. Maybe he may have ran it every year. But he was saying, well, what's her short ultra runner we had on?
You talking about Katra?
Katra. You know, she was saying the same thing about 200s that Kevin is like, it is a different animal. You cannot approach it like you do 100. It's just way different. And I think this is where Courtney would be like, all right, I need to reframe some things because you can't run it the same way that you do 100, at least not currently.
Well, you know, hopefully she learned something and will come back.
Yeah. So it was kind of exciting to watch, like, what was she going to do with this? Was she going to knock it out of the park?
I wanted her to win overall. Yeah. I so bad wanted to see that.
But I mean, you look at, they do say the ultra is that place where, or I'd say maybe the 100 and up even, is where the men and women start to get their times start to come a lot closer together.
Right.
But then you look at these times and it's a decent amount that Dan Green won by.
I was cracking up when I came in and you were looking at the replay.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like they're not that far apart. Then you look at the results and it's like, it's just because it's that far.
2.5 hours apart. It's like, oh man, he's got to get out of that aid station. He's got to get moving. It's like,
he could have taken a couple hour nap.
He could have literally napped for an hour and still had an hour and a half lead. Yeah. So yeah, there was that going on. It talks about a lot more international competition coming in, like Ryan Sands from South Africa. It's interesting. I just noticed the top 3 of the top 5 men are from the USA, and then all 5 of the women are from the USA. I didn't realize that.
Oh, wow.
But there was a lot more international competition coming in for this race. This is where it talks about Eldon Mountain. That's the final ascent and descent coming into Flagstaff. See, it says finish line in Flagstaff right there. Flagstaff.
I didn't say I knew. I just was confused. I'm like thinking it finished in Phoenix. Whatever.
Phoenix? You mean Sedona?
No, I knew it ran through Sedona. I knew it didn't finish in Sedona.
It didn't start in Phoenix either. Right?
Hey, I could be wrong if you can be wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. This is where it does talk about, again, Rachel Entrekin's dominance. This is actually the second consecutive year that she's won. I didn't realize that. It talks about weather. It started, I do want to go back to just some things about the race that make it special and what it is. Obviously, 250 miles plus is a significant distance to go. It does say 265 or 256.5. This year, I do believe it's 257 point something. Or that's just what the competitors added just in the few steps off the trail and things like that. The elevation gain is roughly 40,000 feet. But here's the thing. It's net downhill. Oh, no. It's net uphill of 5,000 feet. So it's only a 5,000 foot ascent.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've ever been to Flagstaff. That makes sense because
True.
Flagstaff is high.
Yeah, that's true. You go up to Flagstaff
Yep.
from Phoenix. Yep. Yeah, they set some records this year. All in all, it was fun to watch. And you can't see it now, but you can go on to YouTube right now and go back and watch some of the live streams. Aravaipa does an amazing job with live streaming now. They do a really good job of live streaming, even though the reception.
Yeah, did you see?
Man, sometimes it sucks.
Yeah, the picture sometimes.
But they were saying like, what's the Crown King? They go into Crown King. Is it Crown King? I think that's the location they run through. They run into that, and there's like 2 buildings in that town. It's like a middle of nowhere town, and they're broadcasting from there, showing who's coming in and going through, and because that's why Courtney ran the Crown King. I don't think I'm saying that right. Maybe that's the Crown King race. That's the one she won just recently, like 2 months ago. She won that race outright. And because it was part of the Cocodona 250. She wanted to run, and it's part of the course, things like that. So, but yeah, it's an exceptional race if you're looking for 250 plus miles to challenge yourself in a new way.
And if you want to sign up for it, if it opens up, it sells out right away.
Yeah. Yeah, commit early. Yeah. Commit to training like now.
Yeah.
For next year. Yeah. I think it's more than couch to 5K type training.
Couch to 250.
Is there one of those?
I'm going to create it.
But yeah, exciting race. Go check out Cocodona 250. They have, I don't know, probably like 25 live streams on the Aravaipa YouTube.
This to me has a similar buzz to Western States, so it's getting that same type of coverage and getting to be a big deal.
Well, and I think it is. Yeah, it is, because it's just a huge distance to truly race.
Think about the logistics of setting up aid stations for a 250-mile race, point to point. Think about what has to go into that and how expensive that has to be.
Well, what did we say?
The amount of volunteers that you have to have.
Almost $1,000 or something like that to run this race.
I think so.
Yeah, it's a pricey one. It's a pricey one. Let's see if our runner finished. He has not. Dude needs to get on it. I was hoping we could have somebody finish while we were recording this, but does not look like. And this is live updating. It's kind of cool. You can watch. You can literally see where people are at. They must have a pretty good tracking system, because you can see them. You can literally see them updated pretty continuously. I was following. Do you remember we had the guy on? Was it last year? And he had. No. Hang on. No, Jason Anderson had a friend that reached out and said, "Hey, I got my son's." Oh, I know who it was. Dennis Barber. Dennis Barber's son was running it, and I was tracking him, and literally watched him go off course. And I commented on the YouTube because it was live streamed. I said, "Hey, I think this dude's off course." Blah blah blah. And they said, "Man, I would eat my shoe if he's off course. He's training with so-and-so, and they've got him, blah, 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 and they've been out here running." And sure enough, the dude was off course. he was off course, had to backtrack. And it's like, man, oh man, I know the few times I've been off course on ultras, that is so demoralizing and so such a gut punch.
It is.
Because the last thing you want to do is more miles.
Yeah.
And oh man.
Well, I do find this, like we've tracked Jamil Kurt before when we were talking about the Chipotle challenge, and kind of a crazy dude, but he's out there and they talk to him a lot on that live stream.
That dude's super cool.
Yeah, he is funny, and he's got quite a following of his own. He's got a YouTube channel. And he's an interesting guy.
I remember following him the first time as just Jameel Curry, just Jameel, I don't know, Jam Jam. Jam Jam, I think that's his YouTube channel, his original one might be called that, or that was his nickname or something. Well, that definitely was his nickname. I don't know if that's what his YouTube was, but at any rate, I remember following him, and I think it may have been even when he bought or took over Aravaipa or bought the races that entailed that and named it Aravaipa. And the dude's just funny. Yeah, he's just fun. He has such a kind of a sarcastic, sense of humor to him on certain things. But at the end of the day, the guy is all about creating a really great experience for runners and making sure all the runners are just treated well. And like I said, I've talked about when I went the wrong way on that race of his. He let it stand because ultimately I did way harder, even though ultimately I said I shouldn't have finished, but he allowed it. Whatever.
I don't think he even race directs anymore. I think he's got race directors for all these different races. And he's just over top of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know which ones he does. I think he still does some, but maybe not. Maybe he's handed them all off. But anyway, go check out Cocodona 250. Really cool race. Exciting and fun to just follow and watch.
It is.
And it's got a load of runners in it now. And there's still several trying to finish before Sunday. So,
all right.
Next week, we're going to talk about a little more Manitou climb. That'll be fun. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Spotify, all the different listening platforms. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Love the comments. We want to reply to them. We got the one. We're going to talk about it next week. But with that, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.